Hello everyone and welcome back to this channel where we talk about the crypto world with honesty and clarity. Today's topic? XRP. Yes, that same XRP that people call the bank's coin. That same XRP that once touched $3.65. And that same XRP that is still one of the most closely watched coins in the entire world. But folks, today something is different. This week, some news has come out about XRP that could completely change the game for this coin. So if you hold XRP or plan to or simply want to understand what is going on, watch this video all the way to the end. Because today we will talk about the brand new XRPL network upgrade that just went live, MV2 XRP's DeFi revolution, the shocking performance of XRP ETFs while Bitcoin and Ethereum were struggling, and most importantly what could happen to the price. Let's get started. Folks, first things first. On May 27, 2026, just a few days ago, a major network upgrade successfully went live on the XRP ledger. The name of this upgrade is fixCleanup 3.1.3. Now you might be thinking that sounds like a boring name. What actually happened? Listen, this upgrade may sound boring by name, but underneath it is extremely important. This upgrade fixed for major problems. First, ENF cleanup. You may know that ENFs also exist on the XRP ledger. But the problem was that expired ENF token offers, meaning offers that had already ended, were still floating around in the system like ghosts. They were taking up network space and slowing down performance. This upgrade cleaned all of that out. Clean slate. Second, permission domains fix. The XRP ledger has a system where you can create restricted trading zones where only approved users can trade. This is very important for institutions, but there was a bug before even failed transactions were modifying domain rules. That was wrong. Now it's fixed. Third, vaults upgrade. In XRP's new vault system where you lock assets, a trust line token limit check was incorrect. Meaning when withdrawing, the system was not checking properly. That is now corrected. Fourth, lending protocol fix. This is the most technical one, but listen. The XRP ledger now supports lending. In that system, loan records were wrong, overpayments were happening, and asset matching was not proper. All of those issues are now resolved, and folks, the most important part. After the upgrade, the network kept running without any problems. Validators confirmed that blocks were still being processed normally. Everything is smooth. So this is a small but solid win for the XRP ledger. Now let's get to the news that I believe could completely change XRP's entire DeFi story. On May 26, 2026, the XRP Ledger Foundation published a draft proposal for MV2. AM stands for Automated Market Maker, an automatic system that makes trading possible without needing a direct buyer and seller to match every time. But first, let's understand the problem. The XRP Ledger already had an AM which launched in March 2024, but it only had one curve model called constant product, which means X multiplied by Y equals K. This model works fine for volatile assets like XRP or Bitcoin. But pay close attention here, this model is very inefficient for stablecoins. If two assets have almost the same price like USD and USDC, the constant product model wastes a huge amount of liquidity unnecessarily. Capital gets spread out when it doesn't need to be. Now, the XRP ledger world already has over $3 billion worth of tokenized real-world assets. Think tokenized government bonds, tokenized foreign exchange, tokenized real estate. All of these need efficient trading. So what does MV2 solve? 3 new curve types are being introduced. First, constant product, which was already there. Existing pools will stay as is. No forced migration. Old pools remain on-chain unchanged. Second, StableSwap. This is inspired by Curve Finance. It is designed for stablecoins and near-equal assets. Capital efficiency improves dramatically and price slippage is reduced. This is exactly what institutions needed. Third, concentrated liquidity. This is similar to Uniswap v3 technology. Here, a liquidity provider puts their capital within a specific price range. So if XRP is trading between $1.2 and $1.5, you can concentrate all your liquidity in just that range. More returns, less waste. And on top of all this, a smart AM is also planned, which will come as a separate specification later. Now folks, did this launch immediately? No, right now this is a draft amendment. XRPL's rule is that any amendment needs at least 80% validator approval, and that too for 2 continuous weeks before it goes live. But the proposal has been filed. Core developers Dennis Angel and Roman Theet wrote this draft. The foundation has officially published it. This is serious. If this passes, the XRP ledger's DeFi ecosystem reaches the level of Uniswap and Curve, and for XRP, this would be a game changer. Now let's get to the news that is actually very shocking. May 28 to 29, 2026. A bearish wave was running through the entire crypto market. Spot Bitcoin ETFs used by the largest investors in the world were seeing net outflows. Meaning, people were pulling money out of Bitcoin ETFs, Ethereum ETFs too? Same situation. In just 1 week, the combined loss from Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs was almost $2 billion, and XRP ETFs Folks, XRP ETFs recorded inflows. On May 29 alone, $11.88 million came into XRP ETFs. Since May 20, $35 million has come into XRP ETFs. And total net assets? US XRP ETFs are now close to $1.12 billion. Which companies are leading? Bitwise, which is at the front, then Canary Capital, then Franklin Templeton. Now think, what does this signal? It means that when institutional investors were scared and pulling money out of Bitcoin and Ethereum, they were putting it into XRP. This is a defensive play when the market is uncertain. You move into a relatively stable, narrative-driven asset. And what is XRP's narrative? Regulatory clarity, real use case in payments, Ripple's legal victory. All of these are factors. One more bombshell according to reports, Ripple is planning a $1 billion XRP treasury raise. Meaning the company wants to increase its own XRP reserves just like MicroStrategy did with Bitcoin. This has not been confirmed yet, but if it happens, just imagine the demand. So folks, when everyone else was jumping off the roof, XRP holders were sitting on a cushion. Now the real question: price, right now in May 2026. XRP is trading around $1.3. Is this price right? Should it go higher? Look folks, this is crypto. There are no guarantees, but there are some signals that are important. Bearish signal. The broader crypto market is weak right now. Bitcoin was also near $73,000 and is under pressure. When the overall market goes down, altcoins suffer too. XRP is currently testing key support levels. If that support breaks, it could go further down in the short term. Bullish signal number 1: ETF inflows. As we saw, institutions are coming in. $1.12 billion in ETF assets does not get built in a single day. Bullish signal number 2: tech upgrades. XRPL's network is getting better. fixCleanup went live. MV2 is in the pipeline. This strengthens the fundamentals. Bullish signal number 3: analyst targets. US asset management firm 21 Shares has officially given XRP a $2.45 price target for 2026. That is a conservative estimate. Some analysts are talking about $5 and even higher. Bullish signal number 4: CME futures. XRP futures have launched on CME, and in just the first year, tens of billions of dollars in volume have already been recorded. That is a sign of institutional seriousness. So the summary is this: there is pressure in the short term, but the setup looks very strong in the medium to long term. Folks, there is one thing we forget when we only look at price. XRP at its core is a payments infrastructure coin. When you send money from Pakistan to America or from India to the UK, that transaction takes 2 to 5 days and comes with significant fees. The system that banks use is the SWIFT system, which is 50 years old. Ripple's on-demand liquidity solves this problem. XRP works as a bridge currency and the transaction completes in 3 to 5 seconds at almost zero cost. Now, when over $3 billion of real-world assets have already been tokenized on XRPL, when AMV2 is coming, when ETFs are already here, this ecosystem is slowly but surely integrating with traditional finance. This is why people see XRP not just as a speculative bet but as an actual infrastructure play. So folks, today's summary. XRPL fixCleanup 3.1.3 upgrade is live. The network is more stable and clean. MV2 draft proposal is filed. StableSwap and concentrated liquidity are on the way. XRP ETFs saw $35 million plus in inflows while Bitcoin and ETH were struggling. Ripple's $1 billion treasury plan still a rumor but a powerful signal. Price is around $1.3 short-term pressure but a long-term bullish setup. Folks, my personal take? XRP looks boring right now, but opportunity hides in boring. When everything is pumping, it's hard to buy. When everything is boring, that's when smart people build their positions. But this is not financial advice. Do your own research. Make decisions according to your own risk tolerance. If you found something helpful in today's video, please like it, subscribe to the channel, and share it with friends who are interested in XRP. Drop a comment. What is your XRP target price? Tell me. Take care and see you in the next video.